Thank you, Keith, and a very good morning to you, New Zealand. I hope the weather's better where you are than here. It has been raining most of the day after very fine weather in the last couple of weeks. Is a virtual test pack. Big, mobile and steeped in experience. The Sorensen brothers are in need of a match after a 7-week layoff, and Dane is now fully recovered from his knee injury. The back line is the Auckland lineup, apart from Waikato's Vaughan O'Callaghan, who along with Shane Cooper and Mark Bourneville is making his debut. It's a bigger back line than the current test lineup and slightly different in style. Much will hinge on the cleverness of Shane Cooper at standoff, who has the unenviable task of marking the extraordinarily talented Australian Mark Ella. However, his combination with Clayton Friend and with O'Regan and Elia is already well established. Wigan start today without kangaroo prop Greg Dowling and club captain Graham West, both injured, but are nevertheless a formidable side to meet first up. There are 4 established test players, 3 English and 1 Australian, as well as Shaun Edwards and Ian Potter, who are now in the test squad. Despite West's absence, he'll be co-commentating with us today. New Zealand keeps its strong links with Wigan through former national sprint champion Gary Henley-Smith, playing just his 5th game of rugby league after signing 3 weeks ago. Ellery Hanley in the centres and Steve Aller at standoff are the men to watch, and they should be fed by the classy second row of South African Nick Dutoit and GB Test player Andy Goodway. They're not quite as big as the Kiwis, but in training they have looked fast, sharp and eager.
He's an interesting player, Dutoit. He's a South African. He's come on in leaps and bounds since he arrived before the Challenge Cup last year.
He's one of the danger men in this side for Wigan, and his combination with Andy Goodway in the second row is very, very good indeed. Wigan looking dangerous. Oh, they've done it through Shaun Edwards.
A very good try. Very good try. They found the overlap, managed to back up and score a good try.
An excellent try for the man who's just been included in the Great Britain Test squad. Would you say he's a certainty for a test place, Graham?
Well, I'm not too sure. He has been playing standoff for us up till recently. This is his first game at fullback. He's a good player. He sniffs around and backs up anything that's going. Certainly proved it just then.
Just having a look at the replay. David Stevenson making the break. Couple of tackles in vain. Mark Graham couldn't hold. Coming in the middle was Vaughan O'Callaghan, trying to cut it out, but the pass got through and Shaun Edwards to finish it. So 4-0 Wigan. Oh, this is more lively play from Wigan. Hanley runs out of the tackle. Edwards up there and puts the kick through. O'Callaghan chasing it back, dives on it. And the Kiwis get possession, but they've lost a lot of yardage. This is Hanley. Ellery Hanley slipping out of the tackle of Ron O'Regan. Just so dangerous when he gets away. Now here's Edwards, puts the kick through. Yes, he was taken out. So a chance for Wigan now to go further ahead. Penalty, should I say. Yes, just inside the uprights.
The Wigan side certainly have made fewer mistakes. They're taking advantage of moving the ball wide.
The pace really starting to show on some of these players. Just one of those reflex flicked out arms. That's a good kick and the flags are up. And Wigan are 10 points to 0 in front of the Kiwis. Not as well known as a lot of the other players, the other New Zealand players, to the English crowds and of course to the English players is Olsen Filipina. But I'm sure they'll establish fairly quickly just how good he is.
You can say that again. He's been watched very closely on the videos of the New Zealand tests against Australia. And there's a lot of people waiting to see him play.
Vaughan O'Callaghan, and the flags are up. So New Zealand with some respectability from the penalty. 10-2, still 8 points down. Over Sorensen's head, but Ron O'Regan picked it up. Backing up well, 5 tackles. Clayton Friend with the bomb. Hugh McGann going up for the high ball. His speciality. Have they got it?
It's a try.
Try has been awarded. Shane Cooper. Hugh McGann went up for it. Shane Cooper was beside him. The bomb from Clayton Friend, beautifully placed. The distance between the try line and the dead ball line at these English grounds is very small indeed. And you have to be very accurate with a bomb, lest it should go too far. Pass coming out, Clayton Friend with the bomb. As we said, you need to be very accurate with bombs here, lest they should go too far. Very small gap to put it in. Hugh McGann was there. It came free, and Shane Cooper on the spot to dot it down. Still 2 down. And this Wigan side looking as though they're going to be staunch in hanging on to that narrow lead. The Kiwis looking far the better side in the second half. Much more cohesive, much more enterprising. But if the result stayed the same now, you could say at the end of the game that they had lost it in the first 10 minutes, really. O'Callaghan keeping the ball in, but almost giving away a try as Andy Goodway races down the line, towing it on. He's only got a dive on it. Oh! What a terribly costly mistake for Vaughan O'Callaghan. One he'll live to rue. Andy Goodway on the spot and cashing in.
It was very unfortunate. He did a good job in keeping the ball in. He slipped over. Andy was there to cash in for sure.
Perhaps wasn't looking over his shoulder, trying to keep the ball in, and didn't see Andy Goodway, the Test second rower, coming through at good speed. Goodway just absolutely snapped up that opportunity. You can't give a man of his class that kind of space. Just having a look at it again, O'Callaghan unfortunately slipped over. He dived desperately to try and save it, but Goodway was there and kept towing it through, kept the ball in. It bounced the right way for him, and he just dived and dotted it down. So the Kiwis even further in deficit. 6 points down now, with a possibility here for Stevenson to make it 8. Hugh McGann losing it forward. Ellery Hanley picks it up. Good luck that time for the Kiwis as Adrian Shelford picks it up, but full time is up. That's the game. And the Kiwis have lost their first tour match, one that they desperately wanted to win to start the tour off on a good note. They knew they were up against very tough opposition in Wigan, and they knew that this was going to be a difficult match to win. They have failed to do so in the first one, beaten by 14 points to 8. They looked likely a number of times in the second half, but they just could not get over that line.